The next function is, in order to display the SQL table item in the computer's monitor, let me create a function. Start with the def followed by name of the function show table colon document string used to display the table. Now first you should establish connection between Python and MySQL. You can copy paste this. Okay. Now you can write the SQL statement that you want to execute. Maybe let me copy paste all these things. Okay. So here what is the SQL statement that you want to execute? It is select star from item semicolon. Now runtime entities are not there, so you don't need this, and here comma v is not required. Using the execute statement you can execute this SQL statement. Here no need to commit. Why? You don't make any change in the table, you are simply retrieving the rows present in the table, so no need for commit. So the execute statement will execute this SQL statement. The answer is there in the computer's memory, and the memory area is known as context area. So from the context area I am going to retrieve all the rows. So how can you retrieve all the rows? There is a function by the name fetch all. Now fetch all is a function of the cursor object, so it should be called as cursor.fetch all. The answer, the various rows you can store in a variable R. So R is a list of tuples. Each and every row is maintained as a tuple, and you can display R in the computer's monitor, print R. Once the use is over, don't keep the connection alive. You should close this connection, so you can write connection dot close. Okay, so I created one more function, show tables. Now the last one, in order to search for an item, let me create one more function, the last one. So def followed by search colon used to search for an item. Now the item name should be entered from the keyboard. So item name is a string, so just input, and here you can type enter the item name. Now we want to check whether this item name is there in the SQL table or not. So first connect Python with the MySQL. For that you can call this function. Okay. Now I need to execute an SQL statement. So str SQL equals select star from item where item name equals, maybe you can continue with this in the next line, item name equals percentage s, because it's a runtime quantity, runtime entity, so this runtime entity should come here. So select star from item where item name is equal to this one. Each and every statement should end with a semicolon. Now I am going to execute this. Before that, the values must be stored in a tuple. So v is equal to tuple. And what are the values? Only one value is there. Okay, it is item name. So here you can type item name. And I hope you remember, if the tuple contains only one element, you write the element inside round brackets, and after that what must be there? A comma should be there. So this is part of syntax, and this is one area where you may go wrong. So please make it a point. There is only one element in the tuple. So write the element inside round brackets, and that is followed by comma. Only then this will become a tuple. Okay, now I need to execute the SQL statement. You can call the function execute. It's a function of the cursor object. So you can call it as cursor.execute. The SQL statement should be passed as an argument and the values must be passed. Okay. Now execute will execute the SQL statement. The answer is there in the computer's memory known by the name context area. Let me retrieve all the rows from the context area. How do you do that? There is a function by the name fetch all. Now this is a function of the cursor object, so it should be called as cursor.fetchAll. Okay, so all the rows are retrieved from the computer's memory or from the context area, and variable r contains all the rows. Okay, now suppose if r is empty, what is the meaning? This item name is not there in this SQL table, isn't it? Because R contains all the rows. What is the speciality of the row? Select star from items where item name is equal to this one. Okay, so R contains all the rows where item name is this. And if R is empty, the meaning is this is not there in this table. So let me check the condition. How can you check whether R is empty? If R equal to empty. Why did I make use of list type of bracket? Because you know that row, how are the rows maintained? It is a list of tuples. Okay, it's a list. So if r equal to empty, what's the meaning? The item is not there. This item name is not there in the table. So you can write item name not found. Okay, item name not found. Otherwise you can display the details of the item. First you can say item name found. Now details are given below. And you can print the details. How do you print the details? Print R. Okay, that's all. So here the search item, if it is not there, not found, otherwise all the details are displayed. All the details of this item displayed. And once the use is over, don't keep the connection alive. You should close the connection. So connection dot close. So we have written all the important functions. Now we are in a position to write the main function. And the next video tutor explains the main function.